Welcome to the free immigration help channel. Today is April 15, 2024, and we are getting into the volume 195 of me answering your immigration related questions. As always, before beginning this video, I'm gonna mention, as I mentioned in every video on this channel, I am not an immigration attorney. This is not legal advice. All the information provided in these videos, they are from official government sources like USCIS and of course the Department of State with their visa bulletin, which is most of the times what we do on this channel. So let's start with the very first question comment from Maura Raisa. Hello, thanks for the video. My question is, I'm a spouse and my husband came as F1 student and he's already studying in the USA and I'm also here as a J1. I need to apply for F2. All right, so dependent of a student. So I do not need the I-539 application and only the I-539A form, right? Aha, I see. In this case, do I need to pay for it? It says the fee is $0. Thank you. Maura, thank you very much for your question. So no, you do need the I-539 because you are the main applicant, because you are changing your status. I-539A is the supplementary form to I-539. So for example, let's say your husband was petitioning, or let's say you both were petitioning. Let's say you're petitioning for a change of status and your husband is also on the same application applying for a change of status. In that case, you only submit one I-539 and then for the second, for another person, for another family member, in this case your husband, I-539A. But because it's only you changing your status, you are submitting the I-539. So no, it's not going to be free. However, if you do, because you know F1, J1, you might want to potentially consider taking a look at the fee waiver from USCIS, which they have that as well. Keep in mind, it might delay the process. So honestly, if you can, if it's not a problem for you to pay for the application fee, I would just recommend doing that. So yes, you are only looking at I-539. All right, so let me post the answer here. And we are moving on to the next one from Isaac Baramin 4664. Hi, I'm from Philippines, F4 visa category. My priority date is July 15, 2002 and documentarily qualified since June 14, 2022. My case is at US Embassy in Abu Dhabi, UAE, and I have been waiting for almost 23 months to receive my interview letter. But unfortunately, there's nothing as of now. Would you recommend transferring my case to US Embassy in Manila, Philippines? Your prompt response is highly appreciated. I'm honestly kind of curious why your case is at US Embassy in Abu Dhabi. It's interesting. I wonder why. So maybe you were in Abu Dhabi at the point where when you were doing the NVC documentary qualification. Just out of the curiosity, if you can let me know, I would appreciate it. But let's take a look at the visa bulletin. See what's going on for the F4 as of right now. Since you are from Philippines, we are looking at the Philippines chargeability area. So let's see. For Philippines, F4 as of right now is the priority date is on September 2003 as of May 2024 visa bulletin. This is the newest one, and I have the video on that. If you haven't seen it, check it out. So September 2003, and you are in July 2002. All right, so you're definitely current. You are more than a year. Are you more? Yeah, more than a year. Sorry, my math is not the greatest. So more than a year you have been current now, and you're already documentarily qualified. So yeah, the only thing you're waiting for is for the interview. So the thing is, Manila, Philippines, you can. And honestly, if wherever is more convenient for you, because you know I'm not sure how my geography is not as good. It's probably as good as my math, probably worse. I'm not sure how far Philippines is from Abu Dhabi, but I would say it's a quite different area. So honestly, wherever it is convenient for you, yeah, you can definitely do that. Will that speed up the process of scheduling the interview? I honestly don't think so, because Philippines, they have a separate chargeability area for a reason. In fact, I know some people from this channel who told me that they have transferred from other countries to Abu Dhabi in order to be processed faster. So honestly, if if Abu Dhabi is more convenient for you, and if your case is already there, and it's, you know, you've been waiting for what now? Let's see. So over a year now, you've been waiting for your interview, because roughly you've been current now for. It really depends on how fast the visa bulletin was moving, but I think, at least judging by what it's showing right now, should be at least 1.5 to 2 years that you have been current. And in fact, yes, you did say that I have been waiting for 23 months. So I'm assuming you already calculated your date since when you were current. And seems like that is how long people wait, at least judging by the comments from people who are from Philippines, in Philippines. So one thing that you can do, honestly, it's really your decision. I can't say go ahead and do that. My only recommendation would be what is more convenient. If you are, you know, in Abu Dhabi or close, just keep it there. Honestly, I think you're better off than going through the whole transfer, because you should be pretty close. You should be pretty close, and I'm pretty sure that your interview has already been scheduled, because you've been waiting for that long now. The only reason why you don't know when your interview is scheduled is because they have to announce the interview 30 days before the actual interview, and not earlier. Very rarely they send 60 days, but most of the times it's 30 days, because you have to do the medical examination within those 30 days. So what you can do, if you want, it's worth a shot, and I always recommend it to other people. Call the US Embassy, be polite, be professional, say, hey guys, you know, I've been waiting for almost 2 years now. I've been current for almost 2 years now. Documentarily qualified, visa is available, current on the visa bulletin. Just wanted to see when my interview is scheduled for. Because it's over the phone and it's not an official announcement, sometimes they can give you that information. Not always. In fact, most of the times I would say they say we can't give you that information, but it's worth a shot. So you can find usembassy.gov. I'm gonna paste it into my UAE right now. So United Arab Emirates, there we go. So there you go. This is their phone number. And let me post a response here, and we're gonna move on to the next one. Let me post the link for this. All right, moving further to Nadine Parkinson 1454. Hi, how are you doing? My son, priority date is September 25, 2020, F2A. He is in Jamaica. When will NBC schedule his interview date? All right, Nadine, let's take a look at, and as you can see, Nadine is one of the top commenters on this channel. I appreciate it, Nadine. Let's take a look at the visa bulletin. So your son is in Jamaica, so it's all chargeability area. So F2A all chargeability area right now, we are looking at June 21. And he is September 2020. So he is he's been current now for, well, judging by, again, it's hard to tell for how long he has been current, because sometimes visa bulletin moves faster. All right, sometimes it moves 3 months ahead, sometimes it moves 6 months ahead. But judging by what we have right now, he should have been current for about June 21 to September 2020. Close to a year now, a little less than a year. Sorry, my math is horrible. That's why I do immigration law and not accounting. But depending on how busy the US Embassy is in Jamaica, and judging by a lot of comments that I receive in Kingston, US Embassy is pretty busy. On average, in a country where US embassies are not overloaded, like in some countries where there is a heavier immigration traffic, it is between 6 months and 12 months. So on average, about 9 months, people wait after their immigrant visa is available, after their case is transferred from NBC to the US Embassy, for their interview to be scheduled. Potentially a year and a half. As you can see, in some situations, like for example for Isaac above, he's been waiting already for close to 2 years. And some people in Philippines waiting for 2.5 years. I think I had a comment a few days ago from a person who was waiting for 2.5 years. I don't think it's that long in Jamaica, Kingston, but I'd really appreciate from someone who is from Jamaica, who had their interview scheduled in Jamaica, to comment on Nadine's comment and let us know how long. But judging by the priority date, I would say there is still a little bit, I would say possibly another 6 months to wait. But you can do the same thing, or your son, he can do the same thing as I recommended to Isaac, to reach out to the U.S. Embassy in Jamaica, and I'm gonna post the link for them. And just number one thing is polite and professional. If you're polite and professional, you can call anywhere, you can walk in anywhere. As long as you're polite and professional, worst thing they can say is don't call here again. That's what I've learned, honestly, being an immigrant myself. And because sometimes you have to stay on top of your case. You can't let the case just be in the air, and a lot of times that's what happens, and people wait and wait and wait, and it doesn't lead to, a lot of times there's no problem, but still, as much of a in control you can be, which honestly we cannot be in control of anything, only God is in control of everything, but as much as we can be, that's the best thing we can do. Okay, let's move on to the next one from Chad Leslie. Good morning, sir. I asked you a question yesterday about my priority date in March 2011, and I live in Jamaica. How long will I get a reply for my case? But I think I'm Graph B because I don't live in the USA. Please explain to me. Thanks again for the great job. Chad, thank you very much for the question. Sorry about the confusion. So you're also in Jamaica. Your priority date is March 2011. I don't remember what your family preference category is, but here's the thing. So the Graph B is for people, it's for everyone, really. For everyone who is dealing with the visa bulletin, whether you're F1, F2A, F2B, F3, F4, we are looking at both Graph A and Graph B, only at the different times and the different stages of the process. When your USCIS petition, I-130 petition, is approved, when it is transferred to the NVC, a lot of times when you are dealing with a backlog, the NVC portal doesn't open up right away. And if you want to find out when your NVC portal is going to be opening up, then you are looking at the Graph B, which shows us dates for filing. So based on your priority date, same thing, when the NVC portal is going to be opening up so that you can start your documentary qualification process. If you are already documentarily qualified, the only thing you're waiting for is for the availability of the immigrant visa. In that case, we are looking at the Graph A, which shows us the final action dates, which refer to the availability of the immigrant visa, the full length of the backlog. And depending on which family preference category you are, you're from Jamaica, so you're going to be looking at all chargeability. So this is one of these you're going to be looking at. So let's say, for example, you're F1. I don't remember which one you were. So March 2011, let's say you are F1 and your priority date is March 2011. If we look at all chargeability F1, it's on July 2015. So I don't think you're in F1 because your visa would have been available 4 years now and you should have had already your interview a long time ago. So I'm thinking, judging by what I see on the Graph A and knowing that you're from Jamaica, I'm thinking you are either F3 or F4. Now, if you are F3, then in that case, we are on January 2010 as of May 2024 visa bulletin. That means that you are in March 2011, so you still have a little bit of time to wait. Wait a second, it's 2010 and you're in 2011. Correct, you do have a little bit of time to wait. About a year and 3 months, roughly, you have to wait if we see a consistent movement on the visa bulletin. If you're F4, then there is more because the priority date is July 2007, so there is another 3 years roughly between F3 and F4. So yes, hopefully that explains it. Again, if you have any follow-up questions, you're more than welcome on this channel to ask. And for everyone else, if you have any follow-up comments, just one thing, please make sure you don't respond to my comment within your comment, because YouTube does not send me the notification for those. Just submit it as a separate comment on any of the videos, on this video or any other video, and I will see it right here on this wall. Okay, let's move on further to Ojo Rafael. Looks like 2 comments from Ojo. Good afternoon, sir. I'm from Nigeria and my priority date is March 2011, category F4. I received my welcome letter since February 2020. Please, when exactly could I be scheduled for interview? All right, Ojo, thank you for your question. Let's take a look at what's going on. So Nigeria, all chargeability area. We're looking at F4, all chargeability area, July 2007. And you are March 2011. So you're March 2011, and that means that you still have roughly 4 years. Roughly 4 years before becoming current on the visa bulletin. Once your priority date is current on the visa bulletin, that's when US Embassy, they start scheduling the interview. So you still have a little bit of time to wait, not a little bit, quite a lot, but I mean, you waited already most of the times, and I can definitely relate, especially to your case, because I also have the F4 petition for my brother pending, so, and I have a lot more left to wait. So as of right now, let's see, I don't know if you are already, I don't think you're already documentarily qualified. No, it doesn't look like you're documentarily qualified yet. You're probably gonna receive your welcome letter, NVC, not the welcome letter. You already received the NVC welcome letter, but it will open up, the portal will open up for your documentary qualification roughly in about 3 years. Because not roughly, actually exactly 3 years from now, if we see the same consistent movement on the visa bulletin. Because like I said, the reason why these are very rough estimates is because sometimes new visa bulletin comes out, sometimes there is a 3 months movement forward, there is no movement at all, there is retrogression moving backwards, which is not good at all. So it's very rough estimates. But if we see consistent movement 1 month every month, roughly 3 more years before your NVC portal opens up. So I would say give it another 2 years, and when you are closer to your NVC portal opening up for documentary qualification, start doing research on what that process involves, you and the petitioner, and start getting ready all the documents for documentary qualification, all the fees. I do have a video on becoming documentarily qualified on this channel, but it's too early right now, so you still have a little bit of time for that. So let me post a response, and we're gonna move on to the next one. Looks like somebody asked, Many, did you do your visa application after you got letter? So the visa application, I'm assuming you're referring to the DS260, which is within the NVC portal. And if your NVC portal is not open, which sometimes they open up early, so I can't say for sure your NVC portal is not open. But if it's not open, then you don't have the access to doing the DS260, which is what the immigrant visa application is. Okay, let's move on further to Rohit Kudu 78. Sir, I got advance parole and work permit on marriage based, but I have asylum withdrawal pending. Which is not so it's not an immigration court. Can I travel my home country, or I need to withdraw my asylum case first? Rohit, great question. So honestly, whenever it comes to, you already have the advance parole, okay? So technically you should be able to travel back and forth. But I like to base my answers on being as safe as possible. And whenever it comes to asylum applications, traveling with a pending asylum application back to the country where you came from, where you're claiming the asylum from, is a big no-no. And I'm sure you know, that's why you're asking that question. So honestly, I definitely would not recommend doing that until you know for a fact, for sure, that your asylum application has been withdrawn. And I'm sure you're working with an attorney on this, and I'm pretty sure the attorney would tell you the same thing. So the thing is, with the asylum application, when you're withdrawing it, you are explaining the reason why you're withdrawing it in the first place. And most of the times, okay, it's no longer there is a threat in my country, and once it goes through, once it is accepted and your application is withdrawn, now they already know that you have explained the situation, that there is no more threat in that country and you can safely return there. And now that you do have the advance parole based on your marriage, now there's not going to be any problems. But your asylum application, and I'm not saying this is what's going to happen, but it is a possibility. You come back, Customs Border Protection sees your pending asylum application in the system, and they're saying where you come from. Oh, you came from the country where you're claiming asylum from. Yeah, that's not a good time. So I definitely would not recommend it. Again, don't take this recommendation as, as anything, but I try to do things safe than sorry. And the safest way would be to just wait until it is withdrawn. All right, let me put the answer here. I'm going to move on further to Monica Pierre 7819. Thanks in advance, sir. My priority date is June 19th, 2015. I am the F1 chargeability is St. Lucia. St. Lucia. I wonder where that is. St. Lucia. Is it in Jamaica? I think it is. My geography is bad. Sorry. Since the visa bulletin from May is showing 8th July 2015 and I'm in June 19th, 2015, am I not supposed to get an interview because it's 1 month ahead? Help me understand, please. Thanks. Yes, you're correct. And I'm pretty sure I said that you have 1 month to wait. No, you are actually correct. You see, horrible orientation here is completely wrong. I apologize for that. But yes, you are 1 month ahead on the visa bulletin. So yes, the only thing you're waiting for is for the interview to be scheduled, which again, depending on how busy the US Embassy is, it potentially can take another. You see, I have some people from, I'm not sure if St. Lucia is in Jamaica or not. I think it is. But you see some people are waiting as long as a year and a half already. I think Nadine is waiting. Isaac he was from Philippines. So yeah, it was different. But yeah, I would really appreciate someone from Jamaica who had the interview scheduled. I would really appreciate them commenting and letting everyone know how long they waited. Because that's the best way to know. Because every embassy, every US embassy around the world is going to have different time frames depending on their scheduling, really. Depending on their staff, on the availability, depending on the immigration traffic, obviously. So yes, you still have, Monica Pierre, you still have some time to wait. I would say normally anywhere between 6 months to a year, but as you can see, some people wait as long as 2 years. So yeah, I would give it another 6 months and then reach out to the US Embassy if it's in Jamaica, probably Kingston, Jamaica, and asking them, when the interview was scheduled for. But there is still some time to wait. On the plus side, you're done with waiting most of the stuff. Your visa is available already for sure. And the only thing you have left is medical examination and the interview, and then that's really it. And once it is scheduled, please come back to this channel and let me know that it was scheduled, because I really do appreciate the resolutions as well. Okay, let's move on to the next one from Litia Gami 9078. Hello sir, my priority date is December 7, 2015, documentarily qualified. Okay, June 23, 2022. All right, category F2B Jamaica. A derivative on the application required a police certificate and we submitted on July 30, 2023. Okay, interesting. The status says submitted. Will that cause any delays? When can we expect an interview? It has been and submitted for 8 months now and says case is still at NVC. It's been submitted for 8 months now. NVC also contacted saying we are in line. Okay, Litia Gami. So if I understand it correctly, you were documentarily qualified in June 2022, so almost 2 years ago. And then NVC reached out and requested another police certificate, because for initial documentary qualification, you do need to submit a police certificate. So they asked a year later for another police certificate, if I understand correctly. It's kind of weird, but perhaps, well, whatever, What does your NVC say when you log in to the NVC portal? Does it say that's it? It's documentarily qualified, everything accepted, everything good? Because if that's the case, then I guess they maybe just needed an updated police certificate. And if nothing changed, if it's still, no problems, no criminal record, then really you shouldn't worry about it. But let me take a look at the visa bulletin and see what's going on. The priority date is in 2015 F2B, so we're looking at oral chargeability. F2B, so April 2016, and you are in December 2015, so you are December, January, February, March. So you are like 4 or 5 months ahead. So yeah, you're still waiting for the interview to be scheduled. Honestly, I'm a little bit. I haven't seen I have not seen cases yet where somebody who was documentarily qualified later got a request for another document from the documentary qualification. But you satisfied their request, which is great, and you are already current, so the immigrant visa should already be available. So I would say you're just waiting for the interview now. Potentially you have, as long as another year, because like I said, sometimes 6 months to a year, but in some cases year and a half. Looks like Jamaica, embassy in Jamaica is busier than normal. But yeah, I think you should be good. It's really weird that they asked for something that you were already documentarily qualified with. I haven't seen that, but what matters is that you submitted it, and so you've done everything on your end. Okay, let's move on to the next one from Daphne. Hi, thank you for your help. In 28, okay, so I'm assuming 2018, my lawyer filed I-130, 18-year legal permanent resident, became citizen in 2020. Lawyer didn't upgrade. You advised me NVC upgrade my case to IR2 from F to B. I got welcome letter, thank you. Okay, Daphne, so F to B is unmarried sons and daughters over 21. So over 21, if you upgrade it, it's not going to be IR2. You can only upgrade it to F1, which as of right now, between F2B and F1, we have people in May, as of May 2024 visa bulletin, people with July 2015 priority date in F1 becoming current, and people in April 2016 on F2B becoming current, which means that F2B is actually, again, I'm sorry, my math is absolutely horrendous, not probably close to a year. Let's say roughly close to a year. Less than a year. Is it less than a year? It is less than a year. Yeah, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. So yeah, roughly 8 months. Roughly 8 months ahead, which means that it is, as of right now, it's better to stay in F2B. And that's why I'm thinking your lawyer did not upgrade the case, because it's beneficial to stay in F2B and not switch to the F1, because if you do switch to F1, you have to wait longer. So you definitely don't want to do that. But yes, you don't upgrade, unfortunately, to immediate relative category from F2B, because it's sons and daughters over 21. You switch to F1 category. Okay, so let me post a response here, and we're gonna move on to the next one. You from user, sorry, no name. And month is August. Okay, hello sir, my priority date is 2008. I would like to know, when is my interview appointment? It's F4 category, please sir, tell me. Of course, so let's take a look. F4 is right now on July 2007. And you are in 2008, I don't know, okay, so you said August. So yeah, you are about 1 year away from availability of your immigrant visa. Once your immigrant visa becomes available, then depending on where US Embassy is, like I always say, typically for most of the countries, it's between 6 months and 12 months. The interview is scheduled. Some countries can take as long as a year and a half. Busy countries like Philippines, for example, their US Embassy is quite busy. People wait 2.5 years. So let me post a response here, but you still have a little bit more time to wait to become current on the visa bulletin. And I'll do that, and we're gonna move on to the next one from Odical3875. Hello, thanks for the answer. Just to answer a question you asked me. Am a US citizen at the time of filing. My family has been documentarily qualified since June 2023. We have still not received an interview yet. And B, my daughter is aging out, but I hope it won't affect her. Since I am a US citizen, you are, so you shouldn't have to worry about it. At the time of filing, just asking, thanks, Ghana. Oracle, thank you for another question. Yes, correct. So when you are US citizen petitioning for your child under 21, no matter how long the process takes, the age freezes because your child is in immediate relative category because you are a US citizen. So yes, no worries about that. Should be good to go. All right, moving further to the next one. Looks like is it identical? Looks like two identical comments from Farouk Johari. Thank you very much, Farouk, by the way, for being publicly subscribed. Appreciate that. So Farouk says, good afternoon, sir. Thank you for your helpful videos. Please answer me. My category is Family F1 and my priority date is September 2016. I'm documentarily qualified since July 2023. Right now, I'm in the US with asylum case. I want to know that should I fill out adjustment of status for F1 case? Please explain it with full details, and also can I change my Abu Dhabi embassy and do my process in the US? If not, can I change the embassy to Canada or another close embassies? Okay, so I'm gonna start from the very end. You don't have to worry about it switching it to another country. Yes, you should be able to have your interview here in the US, so you won't have to travel outside of the US. Now, as far as your F1 case, let's take a look. You are in September 2016. I'm assuming all chargeability area since you had it scheduled in Abu Dhabi. So let's take a look, see what's going on. So right now we are in July 2015 and you are in September 2016. So there is still some time, about a year. As far as your asylum case, you would have to, not right now, because if you submit the withdrawal of the asylum case right now, because the asylum application is also an application for the withholding of removal, once your application is withdrawn, you would be placed into the deportation proceedings. So you definitely don't want to do that right now, because that pending application for the asylum is what allows you to be in the United States legally. But as you get closer to the availability of the immigrant visa, yes, don't forget that definitely will have to be withdrawn. You don't want an application on top of the application, because that will cause, it can cause all sorts of problems. Honestly, it's a whole different conversation. But yeah, you're looking pretty good. Don't worry about switching it to another country. You are already documentarily qualified. So what you can do is you can reach out to the NVC, submit a public inquiry form with NVC, and ask them tell them that you are in the United States and you will want your case to be processed in the United States, so that you don't have to leave the country. Because honestly, right now, it's definitely not recommended for you to leave the country because you have that pending asylum application going. All right, let me respond to both, and I think we're gonna do one more for today from Amanda Bruce. Third time is a charm. Amanda, thank you for another comment. I keep forgetting info. F2B, documentarily qualified November 21, 2022, and priority date 17 October 2016. And chargeability area, all chargeability area. Thanks in advance. All right, Amanda, let's take a look. So you are F2B. Priority date is October 2016. Let's see. So F2B, we are looking at April 2016. So April 2016, and you are in October 2016. So you're ahead, which means that you still have April, May, June, July, August, September, October. So roughly like 5-6 more months. If we see the same consistent movement on the visa bulletin, which is 1 month every month. If that's what we see, roughly 5-6 more months before your priority date becomes current. Once your priority date becomes current, the US Embassy starts to schedule the interview, which again, typically, depending on the country, typically between 6 months and 12 months, but it can take as long as 1.5 years, and in some busier countries, as we see it, 2.5 years. Okay, thank you everyone. Hopefully my answers were helpful. I'll try to get to the rest in the next video. God bless everyone. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.